we were in Target one time, okay? And she had just gotten out of work. So she was with her daughter. We met up at Target. She was doing some grocery shopping. I came along. And I remember distinctly how she was ringing her items. I think the total was about $95, okay? And I remember at this time I was struggling with money, right? But since I wanted to be, you know what I'm saying, Captain Save a Single Mother, I decided to pay for her groceries, right? Um, and guys, my bank account, I remember literally went negative to pay this fucking grocery bill. I literally was giving this woman all that I had, like all that I had, giving it, right? And 2 days later, I remember we had a disagreement where we literally like broke off. And I remember telling her like, yo, like you literally don't value anything I do for you or your daughter. And I remember her telling me this distinctly, guys. She said, I never asked you to do that anyways. I never asked you to do that anyways. And that moment was the moment that I realized, bro, you can be with the best of intentions with single mothers. You can be trying to like help them and help their kids. But at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. And they're going to tell you, I never asked for you to do any of that anyways. Because at the end of the day, guys, the reason that they're single mothers is because they didn't give a fuck being single mothers. They chose to be single mothers, right? So if you think that they need you or that you're adding some help to their life, they're not going to value that shit, because the fact that they're single mothers is a choice because they chose to not work things out with their baby father, okay? I feel like the only situation that it makes sense would be if the baby father's a complete deadbeat and he disappeared and she's never heard from him, right? But in these situations where the baby daddy's either involved or things were just broken off because of a situation, guys, she chose to be a single fucking mother. She chose to raise that kid by herself. So you coming into her life and trying to add value and pay for her bills and help her, she's not going to value that shit. She's not going to value, she didn't even value being with the father of her child. You think she's going to value being with fucking you? And investing so much time and energy into this relationship, into this kid, made me realize like, bro, this woman does not value anything.
Have you also realized how entitled modern women are? Although it's okay to have standards, it's not okay to not let others have their own. Namely, a woman is free to want a guy who ticks all the boxes, but a man who prefers a young, childless woman over a single mom is pretty much a criminal and a bad person, if not the devil incarnate. Well, speaking of the Antichrist and single moms, I don't think any decent man would see Cardi B as a good mother to his kids. Anyways, the truth about this crazy modern clown world is that men are told to accept breadcrumbs while women can ask for the finest dishes. Having standards is always okay, but it should be so for both genders. In other words, if, as a man, you prefer keeping your life uncomplicated by not dating a woman who can do more harm than good, you're free to do so, and honestly, your fellow men will applaud you for that.
Stop telling single mothers we should have chose better. Because seriously, as a woman, why are you trying to belittle and put down another woman? That's weird. I don't do that. I'm a girl's girl. And you want to know the truth? The truth is, the man he is for you when you're his partner, his girlfriend, his wife, may not be the same man for you when you're carrying his child and when you're the mother of his child. Men have proven to switch up, and it's something you won't know until you're there. Be careful laughing at another woman's pain, because it could be you tomorrow, sis.
As much as she's partly right, she only talks about men who laugh at single moms, and on this channel, we don't do that. In today's video, guys, you'll learn why single moms are a bad catch no matter their past, what some men have gone through after marrying or dating them, and much more. But before we look, the girl from the previous clips says some fair things. However, the reality is that men don't talk about single moms just to laugh at them or enjoy their suffering. Indeed, a parent raising a kid all by themselves faces a challenging task. And by the way, that's why it's always better to think twice before marrying or impregnating women for that matter. This rule becomes even more pertinent if the woman at hand is a single mom. To clarify why single moms are not a good option for you, I found an article explaining why. For example, the first reason is that you'll always be second. Sounds like poetic injustice. This first reason alone is very telling and has nothing to do with men who want to gain protagonism. Most men are not looking for someone else's approval, but rather for respect, money, and status. Imagine being a man with all your stuff together just to date or marry a single mom who won't treat you as a priority despite being an awesome provider and fantastic human being with her and her kin. As the author says in the article, check out many online dating profiles. They usually, proudly, say it in the first line. The phrase, "I have a child that always comes first," is not uncommon for a woman to use. Why would I try and connect with someone when they already have a greater connection with another person? Not that I would want to date a woman who puts me in front of her kid, so there is the catch-22. Anybody that puts the person they are dating before their child is not worth dating. But I do not want to date someone who puts others before me. This man is spot on. If you have a kid, of course, it's logical to put them first and give other people less of a privileged position. That's fair, that's normal, and that's why dating a single mom is a huge L for you. If you wanted to have kids, why not have your own? Let's keep on reading his words. If I created this child with my wife, then we are a unit, a family, and the family comes first. On the other hand, if I am some guy that happens to come along, this woman will never love you like she loves that kid. This is further complicated by bad parenting and a lack of boundaries. The kid could be rude to you or start fights, and you will always come second fiddle. In addition, do not expect much for your birthday or Christmas. It is all about little Emma/Billy or whatever stupid name he or she has. I am not in relationships for gifts, but I do not want to feel like I am second or third when it comes to appreciation. As you guys know, men are not looking for providers because they're mostly well off financially. However, getting disrespected or hearing things like, "You're not my real father," just sucks. Being treated as an option, whether in relationships or any other walk of life, is a very destructive feeling. If you still don't believe me, hear what this man had to go through after marrying a single mom.
We have to help a guy that's in serious trouble.
I'm 30 years old. I'm in a relationship with a single mom, married to her.
Do you have any kids with her?
One.
And she brought how many to the table?
3 from 2 different fathers.
What's the problem right now in this marriage?
I just have felt like disrespected, like a second priority, and then also like I've been taken advantage of. I helped her start a business. My last job, I had to wake up at 6 in the morning, and the kids were like not respecting that. She's also 12 years older than me.
Oh man, this is some fucking bullshit you're telling me. The way that you're describing it right now, it just sounds like a total shit shake. You can either go through the male action plan stuff that Ryan Stone talks about and try to get her back in your frame, put the kids in check, discipline them. But, you know, like as I talk about in the chapter about single moms is they want you to have the parenting responsibility, but without the authority. If you want to deal with the exit planning, shoot me an email and I'll work something out for you.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Look at his situation. His spouse is 12 years older than him, brought 3 kids from 2 different fathers, and even used him financially. As Rich Cooper said, that's a complete shit shake. When women say that they want to take things slow and their kids are the most important thing for them, ring the alarm because she has already had fun, let other guys hit for free, etc. However, in her eyes, you're a potential asset and problem solver, whereas she'll be pretty much a liability. Why? Because if you decide to marry her and she escapes the relationship for whatever reason, she can easily take lots of resources from you. And not only that, but going through all the shit that comes with a divorce can make you depressed and suicidal. No joke. And speaking of men's emotions, which women in society hardly care about, let me show you what Coach Greg Adams got to say about the consequences of the rise of single mothers.
We think single motherhood has been around for a long time. It really hasn't. This is a new concept, and they use marketing campaigns to get you to accept it. 1950s, 5%. Not a lot of children born to unwed mothers. We get to 2012, we're almost dang near half. Some communities, 70% of the children born to unwed mothers. Right now, the father absence is a crisis in America. I'm telling you this for a reason, because the guys that want to be fathers, probably half of you, will not even raise your kid from 0 to 18. The systems are already in place for you to not be in that home. So what does that lead to? Kids that grow up without a father, 4 times as much to be raised in poverty, 7 times likely to be a teenage pregnancy victim, more likely to experience child abuse. That's normally because single mother has moved in another man. Child obesity. Are we seeing this today? 2 times as likely to suffer from obesity. 73% of the prison inmates were raised in single-parent households, primarily single mothers.
All in all, it boils down to simple concepts. Let's not forget something as simple as the male imperative of spreading seed and, most importantly, taking care of his own kids and not someone else's. Despite how much women want men to marry them, the reality is that some women are still having kids out of wedlock. In other words, they allow some bad dudes inside and then bring a new child into this world without being emotionally and financially prepared for such a task. And yeah, in many cases, the father is not even there. You just dropped a seed and ghosted her. Women are the gatekeepers of intimacy, but these days, they're told they'll be okay with whatever they do because society and even men will accept them regardless. However, here's what a woman has to say about men who don't want single moms.
Because firstly, like as a man, if you are going to be the one providing, why you're at a disadvantage providing for someone who isn't your biological son or daughter, right? And the second thing is not trying to victim blame, but I think as a woman, if you're having children outside of wedlock or outside of committed relationship, it also says something about you, meaning that to an extent, you could be more responsible.
She's absolutely right. And honestly, it's a breath of fresh air to hear women who keep other women accountable. Accountability is the last thing modern women want to hear, let alone implement in their lives. The conclusion is fairly simple, and although the list of reasons why a single mom is not a good option is as long as the list of requirements modern women want men to meet, you have pretty much listened to all you need to understand that you deserve better. Stay strong, guys. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? What are your particular reasons not to date a single mom? Ever dated or married one? Let me know your thoughts and stories in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you will get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.